Yow, it's John Henry for Young World TV.
What's up, Young World? This is John Henry for Young World TV, and I'm here today with Professor Jim Gelvin of UCLA. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
All right, thank you. And thanks for meeting with me, of course. I really appreciate it. My goal is to learn what's really going on in the Middle East and why we are there, specifically in Libya, the most recent military action. So, what I'd like to do first is maybe have you tell my viewers a little bit about yourself.
I'm professor of history at UCLA. I specialize in the modern Middle East, specifically in the area of the Levant, which means Syria, Jordan, Palestine, and that area as well.
You've also written a couple of books about.
Right. My first book was about nationalism in Syria right after the First World War. But probably your viewers would be more interested in the two more recent books. The first one's called The Modern Middle East, a History. It just came out in its third edition this month, actually. And the Israel-Palestine conflict, 100 Years of War.
So my first question is this. There have been a lot of recent uprisings, a lot of unrest in the Middle East, various countries, Yemen, Egypt, Tunisia. I hear there's things going on in Jordan. It's so much that I can barely follow it. What has been going on in the Middle East?
There are probably a number of reasons why this is taking place right now. One of the most important reasons, I think, though, is this huge demographic bulge that has taken place within the Middle East. A vast majority of the population of most countries in the Middle East are well under the age of 30. And most countries have a huge block under the age of 15 as well. So what we see is a region of the world in which there has been stagnant economies, in which there are few job opportunities, in which there is political autocracies, autocracies that used to be have a bargain with their populations, that if the populations would just obey them, the populations would be taken care of in terms of employment, in terms of subsidies for food, and so on and so forth. Those governments have backed away from that at the same time. You have a large number of youth at this point that are very, very angry, very frustrated, whose only opportunity for advancement is immigration. So this is in large measure what's causing these events to take place. Every single one of these events has had a precipitating cause. In the first one was in Tunisia, and that took place when a street vendor burned himself to death, sparking protests. The most recent protests in Syria took place as a result of the arrest of children, school children, by the security forces, their incarceration as well as their arrest, in the southern city of Daraa. And what this did, of course, was it brought the parents out, absolutely furious. In the case of Libya, it was sparked by the arrest of a lawyer working for families of slain prisoners. There was a prison rebellion that took place in 1996. The government takes no hostages in Libya. It did just prison guards climb the walls, put the people into a courtyard, and just fired on them. About 1,200 people died, and the families of the political prisoners who were killed, as I said, about 1,200, have been seeking answers ever since then. They haven't even been told, many of them, whether their relatives have been part of this episode. So every single one of these things was caused by a very, very specific local cause. But in general, there are these overriding causes within the Middle East. And in general, I think that the overwhelming cause at this point is the autocracy, lack of economic opportunities, increased frustration with governments that have grown long in the tooth.
Aw, yeah, I'm learning something. Stay tuned for the rest of this interview, which I'll be bringing you in multiple segments. Young World TV.